Cahill was an Irish monk who set up a monastery on the island of Iona. He was one of the first white martyrs. These martyrs were people who learned in Ireland and left to bring what they learned in Ireland to the rest of the world. In this way, the Irish monastic tradition began to spread beyond Ireland. Already, the Irish monasteries had hosted many thousands of foreign students who were bringing back Irish learning to their places of origin. Now, Irish monks would themselves colonize, barbarize Europe, bringing their learning with them. Scotland, their first outpost, was peopled by indigenous Picts and Irish colonists who had already established themselves in Patrick's name. Never interested in impressive edifices, Irish monks preferred to spend their time in study, prayer, farming, and of course, copying. So the basic plan of the Iona monastery was quickly executed. A little hut for each monk, an abbot's hut, somewhat larger and on higher ground, a refectory and kitchen, a scriptorium and library, a smithy, a kiln, a mill, and a couple of barns, a modest church, and they were in business. They soon found they needed one more building, the surprising addition of a guest house, for the never-ending stream of visitors had begun. Scots, Picts, Irish, Britons, even Anglo-Saxons, attracted by the reputation of the larger-than-life abbot of Iona. They began to pour into this remote island, and many of them never went home again. Thus, the indefatigable Cahill began to dream of opening new monasteries, among the rugged Scots and the scary Picts especially. Cahill's reputation spread like wildfire. He made 150 monks the cutoff number for the Iona community, and after they had exceeded that, 12 monks would set off to establish another foundation in a new setting. Fresh applicants kept arriving in droves. By the time of Cahill's death, in the last days of the 6th century, 60 monastic communities had been founded in his name along the jagged inlets and mountainy heights of windswept Scotland. It is easy for monks to follow the example of Jesus, as they should, and here they follow him in strategy as well. As everyone had to go to the hub of the Iona monastery, learn the core tenets, and when it was deemed you were sufficient to then go by yourself and be a teacher, they set 1 and 12 monks together, as Jesus was preaching with his disciples. The number is significant and wise. It would have been unwise to send people out individually or all in smaller groups, as it was quite dangerous. 13 men could also do some significant building and setting things up when they came to a place they wanted to stop, without needing the excess money to hire people to do the work. 13 people can also be a tight-knit group, without the group becoming large to where you get stragglers and people who don't pull their own weight. Everyone is accountable in a group of this number, but there are enough people to make some serious changes in an area they choose to settle in. This is also shown in the famous horse soldiers, who were 12 Green Berets who went to Afghanistan after 9/11 to help fight the Taliban. Jesus not only gives us moral lessons, but also lessons in leadership and how to grow a movement. It is great how these monks used this strategy with great success, showing that Jesus also gives practical day-to-day advice on how to approach problems.